are looking at the Great Western Forum in South Bend, where tonight one of the state's top teams and a co-leader in the NIC faces a severe road test. The 10th-ranked Penn Kingsmen take on the South Bend Washington Panthers in this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? With the Hall of Famer Bob Nagel and another Hall of Famer, Bo Hunt, courtside. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for an exciting night of NIC basketball on TV 46. The Penn Kingsmen are ranked 10th in Class 4A. They are 15-2 on the year, 8-1 in the NIC, and they can attribute it to a dynamic junior backcourt.
This is an outstanding team, and they are centered around Marcus Burton. Their point guard averages 27 points a game. Joe Smith, and the backcourt is really what drives this team, what's going to determine whether they're successful. They've got some size down low, but they're going to have to be able to handle the pressure that Washington will put on.
And the Washington Panthers have flown under the radar somewhat this year. This team is 13-6. It's a very scrappy and young bunch, and yet they've got some talent on this squad that will give Penn a handful tonight.
I know one of the things that you always hear about Washington and have for a couple of years is Marcus Northern. He's a very skilled athlete. He's averaging over 15 points a game, and he is a key to what they do. They've got so many unselfish players on this team. Physical presence. They love to get the ball off the boards and go up and down the floor. So Washington's got a wonderful unit. They're well coached. Ryan Vargas doing a great job. And this is going to be a great NIC game. The energy is really good in the house already tonight.
A guy that's used to being in a gym with a lot of green, Bo Hunt, the former Bremen star, joins us on the sidelines tonight. Bo, it's clear what's at stake here for Penn, but what about Washington? What do they get out of this game tonight?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is they play one in probably the best 3A sectional around, especially in northern Indiana, one of the toughest. And this is a competition for them tonight to really go against a top 10 team in the state and really be pressured into out of their comfort zone, basically. It's going to be one of the more physical teams they play, one of the teams that can score with their backcourt the way they have it. And I think this is a really good test of Washington coming out and just competing the whole game. Win or loss, as long as they compete the whole game, it's going to do them well for that sectional.
It's a little early for a March Madness atmosphere, but that's what we feel here tonight inside the Great Western Forum. A lot to talk about as we get you ready for this one, and we'll do it with our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win that comes your way next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by Intera Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, TCU, Wolverine Mutual Insurance, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. The two head coaches, Al Rhodes on the left, Ryan Varga on the right, getting ready for Penn and South Bend, Washington here in the Northern Indiana Conference clash tonight from the Great Western Forum. Time now to look at our keys to win, and they're brought to you by the Jordan Automotive Group. For the Penn Kingsmen, they are led by one of the state's premier guards. Marcus Burton is 4th in the state in scoring and 20th in assists, 27 points and 6 rebounds a game. He's had 7 games of 30 points or more, including racking up 37 against Adams Tuesday night. But he doesn't have to do it alone. He gets some help in the backcourt from Joe Smith, another 6-foot junior guard. Smith averaging over 13 points a game and has been a sniper from three-point range, hitting 43% from beyond the arc. The keys to win for the veteran Al Rhodes and his Penn Kings.
Well, number one is poised under pressure, and they know that Washington will bring it. They'll put a lot of pressure, especially on the backcourt. They've got to be better on the board. Size has to matter, and they've got to be real careful about the position they take. And then they also have to worry about transition defense. They don't want to let Washington get out and go, and they've got to force them into their half-court offense. Al Rhodes, in his 41st season, says tonight's game will be physical and a good test for the Kingsmen.
It will be, you know. we had a lot of trouble with Adams in terms of keeping them off the offensive board. We got to do better tonight than we did then. They have more players going to it. It is a strength for us, though, too. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rebounding comes out.
Meanwhile, the Washington Panthers come in with 4 double-digit scorers in their starting lineup. The leader of the pack is Marcus Northern, the 6'2" junior guard, averaging over 15 points and 5 rebounds a game. The 3-year varsity player has had 17 games in double figures this season. And the other night, the hot hand was Tyler Davis, the 5'9" senior. He's averaging 12 points a game, but he had a career-high 27 against Riley on Tuesday night, and he's the premier three-point shooter on this squad. The keys to win for Ryan Varga and the Panthers.
Big focus tonight is to bind up the backcourt of the Kings when they got to keep Burt, Smith, Garwood in check tonight. Don't shoot yourselves out of it. They got to work and wait for the best shot possible, and they got to be iron workers. They got to rebound, they got to roll and get it going, get out into the offense, kind of avoid that half-court offense. And head coach Ryan Varga's in his 5th season already, and he said this is the kind of a game you need to get ready for the upcoming tournament.
I told the kids it's kind of like a March Madness. You know, you've had some good wins, quality wins. This might be the win that would get you, you know, a better seed in the tournament, or be a significant win that would take you from being a bubble team to a true contender. So a win against us would obviously springboard some confidence for us down the stretch, and you know, it'd be a thing that I guess it would say that we're getting better. So we'll take it as that.
It's already been a big night here at Washington. That's Cedric Moody, who was placed on the Indiana Hall of Fame Silver Anniversary team 25 years ago. He led the Panthers to a sectional championship. He'd love to watch the current squad knock off the 10th-ranked team in Class 4A. These have been our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. The tip-off between Penn and Washington is next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. And we've got the starting lineups. Here's Bob Nagel.
Starting for the Penn Kingsmen at the guard is Joey Garwood, a 6'1" junior. He'll wear number 1. Marcus Burton wears number 3. He's a 6' junior as well. He'll start at a guard position, along with Joe Smith. Joe Smith wears number 11. He's a 6' junior guard. Josh Gatete will start at a forward position. He's a 6'6" junior, wears number 23. At number 55, the big man, Cole Wojciechowski, 6'9" and a senior. And the starting lineups now for the Washington Panthers. It'll be number 0, Terrence Reed, starting at a guard. He's a 5'10" junior. Joanne Agnew wears number 2. He's a 6'4" forward. He's a senior on the ball club. Marcus Northern is at a guard position, a 6'2" junior. He wears number 4. Tyler Davis wears number 11. He's a 5'9" junior guard. And another big guy down low, number 22, Tyshawn Grundy. He'll play at the forward position. He's a 6'1" junior for the Panthers.
The series history between these two schools goes back to 1959. This is the 74th meeting. Penn with a slight lead thanks to 3 straight wins coming into this one, including a 61-58 victory last year. But did you know that since the year 2000, the series is dead even between the two schools? And the officials for tonight's game, not going to be accurate on this list, because I see Brandon Rogers down there filling in, I think, for Christopher Adams. Shane Cole and Doug Wilcox working with them as well. There's Brandon.
St. Andrews Products brings you a check on the uniforms for tonight's game. Washington, the home team, in their white uniforms with green and some gold trim. Penn Kingsmen on the road in their black uniforms with gold and white trim and numbers. Team's looking good, so can your team. St. Andrews Products is the finest apparel. And here to call the game tonight, my partner, Chuck Freeby.
Joe Smith scores the first basket of the game on the layup off the opening tip, and the Kingsmen waste little time getting on the board. Here's Washington, 13-6 on the year. Tyler Davis with a head and shoulder fake over Gatete for 2. Davis, who was red hot the other night at Riley, continues with the hot hand in this one. Penn 15-2. Joe Smith's three finds a home. And we are off and flying here at the Great Western Forum. Terrence Reed works it around. There's Davis again, the best three-point shooter on this Washington team. Marcus Northern, their leading scorer, goes to work and got in trouble in traffic and drew the foul. Plenty of Kingsmen to select. They'll call it on Joey Garwood his first.
Chuck, I can't understand why everybody's so hesitant to get started. Wow, what a flying start we've got here tonight.
Tyshawn Grundy works it out to Tyler Davis. Now Grundy down low to Jawan Agnew. Northern being guarded by Joe Smith, decides to try to take him. That opened things up for Agnew, who goes in strong for two. Jawan, the 6'4 senior, averaging 10 points a game. Here's Marcus Burton coming the other way. Smith, he's been hot, stays hot. He has all 8 for the Kingsmen. Northern back the other way. Good transition defense that time by Penn. That was one of the keys for Al Rhodes coming into this one. Terrence Reed tries to take Burton off the dribble, couldn't get it to go. Joey Garwood the rebound, and Penn will fly up the floor. Burton all the way for 2. 10-4 Kingsmen. We have not played 2 minutes. Davis, step back three, missed it. Agnew tips the rebound to Terrence Reed for 2, and a whistle and a timeout called by Washington. We'll take it as well. 6:05 to go in the first quarter. Are you panting yet? 10-6 Penn on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951.
What a start, partner. The Penn Kingsmen are 5 out of 5 from the floor. I can figure that percentage. Washington, meanwhile, is 3 out of 5. And what a start to this game. We've, as you said, not played 2 minutes, and we've got 16 points on the board.
Penn, for a change of pace, will walk it up, but only briefly. Burton is fouled by Tyshawn Grundy. That's the first on the Washington big man, the 6'1 junior. Grundy built like a football player because, well, he is one for Todd Stamich's Panthers. But he's done a good job on the point guard duties, and now we have a moving screen on Cole Wojciechowski.
First foul on Wojciechowski. Second on the Kingsmen.
So the Panthers come in 13-6. Their best win was against South Bend Adams, an overtime win. Their worst loss was early in the season when they fell in game 2 to Elkhart. Grundy tried to go in the back door. Penn closed it. Burton with the steal. Burton to Joe Smith for 3. Not that time. But the rebound controlled by Josh Gatete. Outstanding offensive rebounder. Burton with a heat check. Sure. The backcourt with all 13 for the Kingsmen. They lead by a touchdown. Northern pull up for 2 off the mark. Rebound batted around. Burton will control it. Burton with smooth handles finds Gatete, but it's poked away by Northern. Gatete down the baseline, lost it. Northern going by Coastal for 2. Five-point Penn lead. Here's Burton. Banging bodies with Reed. Nearly and over the back. Burton past Reed and draws the contact from Jawan Agnew, the first on Jawan.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, here he comes. When he gets that ball and gets his eyes set on the basket, he's going to come full tilt.
You get another look from R&B Car Company as Penn goes to the foul line for free throws sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Marcus Burton, an 81% free throw shooter on the year. And he has 6 here tonight.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because Reshcore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the Reshcore family and getting a $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit Reshcore.com. That's RESCHOR.com.
Inside, Grundy couldn't get it to go. Gar with the rebound for Penn. And Burton, lightning quick, coming up the floor. Hits that shot. He has 9. Smith has 8. Northern at the other end for Washington loses the handle, and Gatete picks up the loose change. Burton. Outside the arc. That one's short. Tipped around, and it comes out to Davis. Tyler Davis up the court in a hurry. Garwood poked it away briefly. And Northern decides to pull it back outside. Washington already in a 9-point hole in this one, and a travel called on Grundy.
That is the second turnover on Washington. Folks, Caddy Shack, or rather Patty Shack, is the original hand-dipped ice cream shop in Granger, featuring super premium ice cream from Chocolate Shop Ice Cream in Wisconsin, cups and cones, milkshakes and malts, sundaes and floats, even banana splits. Check out Patty Shack in Granger.
You get yourself some Patty Shack, you go home and watch Caddy Shack. Here's Burton for 3 again. He has 12 of their 20. And at the other end, the bucket of the bump for Terrence Reed. You'll get another look from R&B Car Company at Reed, able to draw the contact, and he'll go to the foul line where he's only a 39% free throw shooter. The free throw sponsored by Washington High School Athletics. And Reed makes the old-fashioned three-point play to get it back to a single-digit game. Washington with some full court pressure. Trying to at least slow down this Kingsman Express. Burton whips it down low. Blake Barker couldn't get it to go, and the rebound comes out to Northern. Panthers on the run. Northern all the way with the Euro step for 2. So Al Rhodes has gone to his bench. He's got Trey Miller 21 and Blake Barker 45 in the game now. This is Miller. Now Burton backs up for a 3. That one's short. Barker the rebound. He puts it up and in. He had a career-high 9 the other night in their win over Adams. Those are his first 2 tonight. 6'6" senior.
Good solid position inside.
Davis for 3. Ring it up. Tyler Davis knocks down his 45th three-pointer of the year to get Washington back within 6. And Gatete travels.
Turnover number 2 for Penn. Penn leading on the boards early, Chuck, 6-1 over Washington. They turned a couple of those rebounds, offensive rebounds, into points.
There's the veteran Al Rhodes on the sideline, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Famer with 656 career wins in this, his 41st season. Here's Davis. Pull up inside the arc is short, and the rebound controlled by Burton as Penn continues to dominate the boards. Burton runs over Reed. It's a charge. The first on Marcus.
Folks, make your mornings shine with a visit to Monterey Mexican in Mishawaka. Discover authentic Mexican breakfast dishes made daily just like the rest of the menu and served right alongside classic American dishes. Make Monterey Mexican your destination.
Still 100 seconds to go in what has been an energetic and explosive first quarter here on the west side. Marcus Northern hopping through the lane for 2. Northern now with 6 to lead Washington. Smith the other way finds a man in transition, and scoring is Dylan Durda. Durda's first basket of the game. Back comes Tyshawn Grundy for 3. It rims out. Durda couldn't control the rebound, but it's knocked out of bounds by Washington. And what an offensive performance Penn putting on, but that's nothing new. Monterey Mexican Grill tells you that They're the top scoring team in the area at 72 points a game, while they're currently on pace for 96. Smith outside. Now Miller to Durda. Durda shoots and hits. The bank is open on a Friday night. And Dylan Durda, who only averages 3 points a game, already has 4. Grundy tried to drive through Miller, but Miller called for the block. First on Trey, fourth on Penn.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and so much more. Call us at 800-628-9922, or you can email us at sales@standrewscorp.com. If you have questions, our answer is always yes.
Tyler Davis misfires on the 3. The ball goes out of bounds to Penn. Cole Wojciechowski will check back in for Blake Barker, and Joey Garwood will come in to take the place of Trey Miller. Let's see if Al Rhodes holds for 1. It would be the longest possession of the first quarter for Penn if he did.
On pace for over 100 points. Just a really explosive performance here by Penn.
And it looks indeed as though they want to hold for 1. Grundy guarding Burton. You see the clock, bottom right-hand corner of the Intera Credit Union scoreboard. Burton whips it down low for Wojciechowski, but the pass awry, and Washington will have 3 seconds to get it up the court. Penn with full court pressure to make it difficult. Marcus Northern, he'll take it from the logo and miss, and the first quarter has come to an end. And what a shooting display by the Penn Kingsmen in the first quarter. Joe Smith and Marcus Burton were lighting it up. The dynamic junior backcourt combined for 20 points in the first quarter, and Penn leads at 26-18 after 1 on 46. Tonight's first quarter was brought to you in part by Wolverine Mutual Insurance, protecting you and your family for generations. They'll also sponsor our second quarter, but not before we get a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt, your thoughts on quarter number 1?
Well, I think the biggest thing, Penn shooting almost 80%. I think that stands out the biggest point. But for Washington's side, I think their ability to really run the floor and not be phased with how Penn was shooting and how they were getting up and down the floor and hitting every shot. I think they were really running right with them, being as physical as Penn as well. And I think they can actually play with them the rest of this game and really well, as long as they can shoot the ball with that percentage as well, guys.
Not only the shooting, but Bob, you brought up early in the game the rebounding problem right now for Washington.
Yeah, Penn's just been real aggressive and turned some of those offensive boards into points. Washington with just 2 rebounds in the first quarter rather. Penn 10 out of 13 from the field, 76%. Washington 8 of 17, not bad, 47%.
Tyler Davis misfires on the 3, and Penn corrals another rebound with Burton doing the job.
It has been one and done for the most part tonight for Washington.
Burton slices through the defense, couldn't get it to roll. Agnew and Burton battle for the loose ball, and Burton knocks it out of bounds. And again, Penn will go to the bench. Dominic Bonner checks in now, taking the place of Joe Smith. Bonner is 6'1" sophomore.
Good rebound position inside there for Agnew. 6'4", junior, outstanding.
2-3 zone look here by the Kingsmen this time down the floor. They've not been impressed with the outside shooting of Washington so far.
The more that Penn can keep Washington in that half-court offense, the less destructive they can be. They'd love to get out and run.
Terrence Reed squared the body but was offline. Wojciechowski was right there for the rebound. That zone really seemed to throw the Panthers off that time. Here's Garwood driving the baseline. Got stolen away by Terrence Reed. Now Marcus Northern all the way for 2. Northern has 8. He averages 15 a contest for these Panthers. You'll meet him at halftime, one of our TCU student athletes of the week.
Penn with 4 turnovers so far in the first half. Washington with just 2.
With Smith out of there, the backcourt maybe not as skilled for Penn handling the ball, and it's showing here as Durda is called for the foul after he loses control of the ball.
Klein Custom Homes is Michiana's premier home builder. Come visit one of our exclusive neighborhoods or let Klein Custom Homes build on your property anywhere in Michiana. For more information, visit us at Klein Custom Homes. That's K-L-I-N-E, customhomes.com.
And you'll notice with the pace, as you see Ryan Varga on that Washington sideline, Al Rhodes rotating a lot of different people into this lineup now to keep fresh legs out there. Just saw Gatete come back in along with Trey Miller. Marcus Northern outside. 15-footer, pure. 10 now for Northern. That's his 18th game in double figures this year, and the lead is suddenly down to 4.
Here's that pressure we talked about.
We've got a foul called in the backcourt. That's going to be on Marcus Northern. That's only his first and just the 3rd on Washington. We've seen Penn at times struggle with pressure this year. The Northridge game really stands out. The second half of that game, they had a 17-point lead, wound up beating the Raiders in overtime. And Ryan Varga looked at the film and said, yeah, that's something that we have to do to try to disrupt them. It has worked here in the second quarter. Joe Smith for 3. A little too strong, but there's Wojciechowski with the rebound. Cole Wojciechowski, the 6'9" senior, with his first bucket of the game. Washington get closer than 4. Can they really make a surge here in this second quarter? Northern has had the hot hand, but Wojciechowski might have blocked that shot. Smith at the other end. Penn looking for some offense with Burton out of the game right now. Trey Miller trying to live up to his name and does. Trey with the tray, his 7th of the season, and the 6'2" sophomore widens the lead back to 9.
What if his name was Quattro?
Then he would have had to have been fouled on the shot, I'm sure. Here's Tyshawn Grundy on the baseline, kicks it outside. Terrence Reed will drive inside. No foul called there, and the rebound comes to Dominic Bonner. Gatete drives the baseline and a blocking foul. No basket, though, called the block on Terrence Reed, his first.
Terrence a little frustrated. He's 2 out of 5 so far in the ball game, but what it's size for Penn has been a problem with him getting that shot off of the paint.
And Gatete, a very mobile big man, 6'6" and only a junior. And he's got some terrific leaping ability as well. Burton back in the game now for Penn. You see the leaping ability of Gatete there, but the ball lost by Wojciechowski, and Northern serpentines his way up the floor, and Joe Smith probably lucky that that was not called an intentional foul.
Northern had left the building. He was heading for the basket. Folks, Royal Excursion is a proud supporter of high school athletics. For a wedding or school event, team or corporate travel, family or social event, Royal Excursion lets you enjoy the ride. For day trips or cross-country travel, arrive in style with Royal Excursion.
So 1 in the bonus here for Marcus Northern. And he is an 82% foul shooter on the year. The free throw sponsored by Washington Athletics. Northern with 11 points so far tonight. His career high 24 came against Pendleton Heights earlier this year. Oh, the iron quite kind with the home roll right there. And Washington back within 7, still only midway through the second quarter. Wojciechowski finds the open Smith. Now Gatete backs up and stepped on the baseline.
Turnover number 7 for Penn. Still just 2 for Washington. Penn leads on the boards 11-4.
This is a Penn team that will make more turnovers than the typical Al Roach squad, mainly because he's playing a different style than he's played in the past. And 14 turnovers a game, yeah, I'd like that to be smaller, but considering the pace they play at, he'll take that. Topside triple for Northern is good. Marcus with only his 9th three-pointer of the year. He has 15 here in the first half. And just like that, Washington gets back within 4. Wojciechowski down low. Gatete on the baseline. Lost the handle. Here's Northern coming the other way. Grundy will set it up.
First shot of the game for Gatete.
Nearly a steal by Burton. Instead, Grundy travels. Second time Tyshawn's done that tonight. Get another look at the last 3 here by Marcus Northern, and he has been as advertised. Our first look at him this year, he's been playing well. Timeout called by Penn. It's sponsored by the Penn Booster Club. 3:05 to go first half. Kingsman lead at 31-27 on the 46 game of the week. This edition of the 46 game of the week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV46 for over 30 years. The NIC standings brought to us by Monterey Mexican Grill. Penn and Glenn tied at the top. Marion tied in the loss column. They're at St. Joe tonight for the renewal of the Holy War. And then there sits Washington, technically not out of the race, but they would need a miracle to get them back in it. They'd still like to do their part by knocking off the Kingsmen here tonight.
Well, I love the focus that Ryan Varga had coming into tonight. A lot of things have happened during the season. We've had some ups and downs. Our job is to get better by tournament time, and this is the test we need.
And Bo mentioned that sectional they play in. What a wild week of basketball that will be over at Marion High School. Marcus Burton with the ball. He's been quiet in the second quarter, but Josh Gatete gets the layup off the Burton assist. Gatete with his first basket of the game. The 6th Kingsman who has scored. Terrence Reed around Wojciechowski, had it blocked out of bounds by Miller. Cole Wojciechowski, the imposing 6'9" big man out of Queen of Peace School in Mishawaka. Inbound pass caught Penn sleeping, but it was not converted by Johnny Watson. Here's a steal by Reed. Watson at the other end for 2. It's short. Wojciechowski got the rebound and was undercut unintentionally by Watson. You'll get another look on the R&B Car Company replay. And as Miller wound up going over the back, Watson picked up the 7-10 split right there. He got both Miller and Wojciechowski.
Tell you what, they were bodies flying around in there. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork as they provide components for the aerospace industry as well as medical, automotive, military, and defense. IFT is excited about the future and very proud of its past. Celebrating over 60 years of excellence at IFT, quality is a way of life.
Joe Smith directs traffic. Joey Garwood finds Marcus Burton. There's Smith outside for 3. It's short, and the rebound to Northern. Panthers on the run. Marcus pushes it all the way and draws the contact. I believe it'll be on Joe Smith, and if it is, that's his second.
Joe Smith hit his first 3 shots. He's missed his last 3. Chucka's Penn has cooled off a little bit on their shooting percentage. The rebounding has increased now for Washington because, well, there's rebounds available.
Free throws here sponsored by Washington High School Athletics. Northern, the best free throw shooter on a Panther team that only shoots 60% from the line as a team, and Northern missed that one. Gatete the rebound. Burton from the elbow. Off the back iron. Rebound loose, and it comes to Reed. 3-on-2. Agnew altered by Gatete. Here comes Josh leading the break the other way, and Northern called for the hand in the cookie jar. That's the second on Marcus. And decision time now for Ryan Vargas. We hit the final minute 38 of the first half.
Kona Ice congratulates the Kingsmen on the great season. Keep up the great work, fellas. Kona Ice, we're mobile, we're fun, and we're delicious. Dates fill up fast, so visit konaice-.com for information today to reserve for your party.
A pushing foul called here on Tyshawn Grundy. And that'll be the second foul on Tyshawn. And it'll send Penn to the charity stripe here for free throws sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Marcus Burton, not the guy you want to put there if you're Washington, 81% from the year.
Marcus looking for his first points here in the second quarter.
Had 12 in the first. Really worked on his jump shot in the offseason, and boy, has it shown. We saw the 6-foot junior in the Elkhart sectional final last year, and it's hard to believe when you see the numbers on this kid, but he was shut out that night. He has come back this season with a vengeance, drains those 2 free throws. He'll check out. Dominic Bonner checks in. And Washington again has to try to chisel into an 8-point Penn advantage.
Again, patience is going to be key for Washington here. You got to be patient, look for and wait for the good shot.
Penn back in that 2-3 zone. Trying to challenge the Panthers to beat them from the outside. And of course, the length that they can bring on the perimeter with Gatete out there on the wing will alter some shots as well. Davis, that travel forced by Josh Gatete's length.
3 turnovers for Washington, 8 for Penn. The Penn leads on the boards now, 13-7.
Got a 5'9" guy trying to shoot over a 6'6" guy. Trust me, at my height, I understand that's not going to work real well.
Got to do the math on that.
So now Penn with an 8-point lead, and let's see how Al Rhodes handles the last minute of the first half. Cross-court pass to Garwood. Burton, the floor general. Spinning through the lane, lost the handle. Here comes Washington the other way. Davis in transition all the way over Wojciechowski with a bucket of a bump. And you'll get another look from R&B Car Company replay. Look at Tyler Davis using the left hand, not intimidated by the 6'9" Wojciechowski that time, and he's got a chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Wojciechowski now has a second foul.
And Tyler Davis, a 69% free throw shooter, also a member of the football team here at Washington. 7 points on the night. He averages 12.5 per game. Missed that free throw to the left. And Bonner went high for the rebound. Smith will handle up top. Agnew comes out to challenge him. The lob to Wojciechowski, who finds the cutting Bonner. Bonner's shot was blocked, but they'll call the foul on Terrence Reed.
Number 2 on Terrence. Folks, TCU is better banking, where you'll get the latest in technology, and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at tcunet.com, federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, check that. They called it on Jawan Agnew and not Reed, so that'll be the second on Agnew. Just 1 foul now on Reed. Tyshawn Grundy has a little bit of blood coming out right now, so they have to take him out of the game for Johnny Watson. And Dominic Bonner going to the line for free throws sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Bonner only a 30% free throw shooter. Wide receiver on the football team for Corey Yeoman last year. And Bonner rattles out the first.
Coming up at halftime, you get a chance to meet a couple of fine young men represented their school with our TCU feature, our student athlete of the week.
You see them attending to the arm of Tyshawn Grundy. Meanwhile, Bonner hits the second free throw. Penn with a 7-point lead. Washington with a chance to take the last shot of the half.
Penn with just 11 points here in the second quarter.
Marcus Northern had it taken away by Bonner. Bonner lost it off his leg. Will Penn get a shot? No one will. The first half has come to an end here at the Great Western Forum in South Bend, with Penn on top of South Bend, Washington, 36-29. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt has Al Rhodes.
Coach, you go into halftime up by 7. You're able to shoot almost 80% in that first quarter, but what was the difference in the second quarter?
Oh, they put more pressure on Marcus and our guards, and our postmen fumbled the ball a lot. We had layups if we just handled the ball.
What do you need to do in the second half?
Better defense, better transition defense, and quit fumbling the ball.
Thanks, Al.
He sounds like Corey Yeoman for Penn. Quit fumbling the ball, because Washington got back in this with strong play from Marcus Northern, who had 15. Trey Miller, though, helped the Kingsmen stay in front. It's been a fun one to watch the Great Western Forum. 36-29 Kingsmen. TCU Student Athletes of the Week are next on 46.
And we welcome you back to the Great Western Forum here at Washington High School. So we get a chance to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, our representatives are both basketball players tonight, in addition to many other things that they do. We have Marcus Northern with us from Washington High School and Mason Wilson from Penn High School. And Mason, first of all, congratulations on all the great work you're doing in the classroom, as well as a lot of different venues in sports.
Thank you.
Talk about your involvement. You've been tight end of a football team, playing basketball, and you've got a little passion going for a sport that they call the unified track, and you've got some special moments and some special goals there.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get everyone involved in our community and get everyone able to compete and work hard together as a team, and it really brings us together with everyone.
Well, I'm told you're helping to build that program and to try to get other people involved.
Yep. Just keep trying to get everyone involved. We're trying to reach out to more kids in our school to get involved and help out.
You've also got a very definite idea what you'd like to study and direction you'd like to go with your life.
Yep, I'm going to be attending North Park University and studying pre-dentistry.
Wow, that's a good idea. Maybe I could just mail you. Well, no, I can't mail them to you, but want to talk too about other activities you're involved with at Penn.
Yep, I'm involved with football, basketball, and unified track.
Any class presidents or student councils?
No.
You'll say you're busy enough. You don't need anything else like that. But give a shout out to the people in your life that matter and people that helped you along the way.
I'd like to thank my parents, especially my siblings and my whole family, for helping me get to where I am at today.
You know, they're all going to want a discount in dentistry.
Yeah.
Okay with you. Mason Wilson, our winner from Penn High School. Congratulations, Mason.
Thank you.
All right, and Marcus Northern is with us from Washington High School. And Marcus, just a junior and doing a great job and being a big factor on this basketball team and part of a program that's showing steady improvement.
Yeah, we just contribute to teamwork and working hard and always keeping playing smart together.
I know a lot of teams, when you play them, they're scouting you and they're saying we got to stop Marcus Northern, but you're also dishing the ball out, you're getting some rebounds, doing everything you need to do.
Yeah, I'm just keeping the team on their heels, you know, just making them think and making them, you know, just making them think.
You're a junior, so you haven't really chosen where you'd like to play, but you'd like the opportunity to play basketball at the next level.
Yeah, preferably Duke. Preferably Duke.
Duke, that'd be a great one. Wish you well with that, and congratulations on all you're doing in the classroom in addition to on the court. And you, I'm sure, got a nice group of support for all the success that you've had.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my grandma. My grandma always keep my head straight. She always focused on the positivity, never the negative.
Well, what we do with our grandmas, right?
Yep, whatever we do with our grandmas.
Marcus, congratulations on your success. Wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Marcus Northern from Washington High School and Mason Wilson from Penn High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com. Find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Halftime at the Great Western Forum on the west side of South Bend with Penn, ranked number 10 in Class 4A, leading South Bend, Washington 36-29. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Were you not entertained?
Well, I definitely was. As a matter of fact, instead of going for a soft drink, you're looking for an oxygen tank. This has been terrific action, great NIC action as we thought it would be. Penn has shot the ball much better than Washington did, but Penn had a lot more turnovers than Washington did, but they had more rebounds. So things wind up, you look at the scoreboard, and it's a 7-point difference, but keep in mind that Penn had 26 in the first quarter, and we're held to 10 points in the second quarter.
We had action from the opening tip, so let's get you to the highlights and show you how this one got to be this way, because right away, Cole Wojcicki won the tip and fed Joe Smith for the bucket, but Washington came right back down with Tyler Davis hitting, and the game was on. Joe Smith then with back-to-back threes for the Kingsmen. Those were all 8 of his points in the first half. Washington, though, had a huge first half from Marcus Northern, who showed his great transition ability. Then Marcus Burton started to heat it up. Back-to-back three-pointers for the savvy Penn guard, who had 14 in the first half. Tyler Davis had 7. He showed he could shoot from beyond the arc as well. But then Penn was able to keep the lead at bay thanks to shots like this from Trey Miller. And Northern, with 15 points in the half, kept Washington within striking distance as we take a look at the first half numbers.
Well, Penn was on fire as they shoot 59% from the field in the first half. Washington 44%, and that's not far from their season average. Three-pointers favored Penn. They had 5 out of 10. Washington just 2 out of 8. Free throws not a huge factor in the ball game. Rebounding favoring Penn big time by 10 rebounds. The turnovers also, Penn has 10 of those, but Washington just 7. So the good news is limited for the Panthers right now. So is the scoreboard, but they are certainly within striking distance of the Penn Kingsmen.
If the second half is as good as the first half was, you may need a safety belt for that recliner you're sitting in. 36-29, Penn on top of Washington. Second half play-by-play from South Bend comes your way next on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Al Rhodes talking things over with his Penn Kingsmen, but it's Washington that finds itself down by 7, 36-29. So as we go to Bo Hunt for a Bills Eating Sideline report, what kind of adjustments do you think Ryan Varga is going to make here in the second half? All right, we are having a little technical issue with Bo. We'll get back to him as soon as we can. Panthers just getting out for the second half, so I'll ask you the question, Bob. What kind of adjustments do you think Ryan Varga makes here?
Well, they only took 8 three-point shots in the first half. They hit just 2 of them. Penn took 10 shots from three-point range. Out of the total of 47 shots that were taken in the first half, 19 of them were three-point attempts. And I just think that Washington's got to maintain that physical approach, get the ball inside. There is size in there for Penn, and they blocked a number of shots so far tonight, but he's got to get it to the basket.
Well, Bo, is that kind of what you're thinking as well?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, having a little technical difficulty down here, but got it all set now. But yeah, I think the biggest thing here in the second half with Washington, they just need to stay with their game plan. They're being very physical, and I think the biggest thing is they're not having any letdown or disappointment of being down by 7 at this point. They're really fighting throughout. They're a very physical team, and they really like to get up and down the floor, guys.
Well, Garwood missed that opening 3 of the first or the third quarter. A third quarter, by the way, brought to us by Wolverine Mutual Insurance. This is Terrence Reed trying to back down Marcus Burton. Now Marcus Northern. Here's Tyshawn Grundy off a little 3-man weave. That found Agnew open on the baseline, but he couldn't hit the J. And Gatete comes the other way.
One and done again.
Burton lost the handle. Here's Grundy trying to go the distance. And it's blocked off the backboard by Burton. That'll be goaltending. That's the first basket of the night for Tyshawn Grundy. And Washington back within 5. Here's another look on R&B Car Company replay, and this is a pretty easy call to make because the ball's coming off the glass when Burton blocks it.
Boy, he got up there, didn't he?
(36-31), Penn on top. Here's Joe Smith dropping it off for Wojciechowski, who powers it up for 2. Cole Wojciechowski with 4 tonight.
And he did not fumble the ball that time.
That might have been mentioned a time or two in that locker room down below us. Northern lost the grip. Got it back. And dished it for Agnew, but blocked by Gatete. Lead pass for Garwood. The alley-oop is good. Joey Garwood's first basket of the night. And Penn getting all kinds of different contributions. Reed mugged by Wojciechowski. That's the 3rd on Big Cole.
Wojciechowski with 4 points so far in the ball game. Not far from his scoring average of 6, but he's made some nice passes in the low post as well.
He'll come out. Blake Barker will come back in. And this has been the saga of this game really since the middle of the first quarter. Penn will get the lead up to 9, comes back down to 4, but Washington can never quite get over that hump. And now Penn with a chance to take a double-digit lead, but Blake Barker double dribble, traveled, did many bad things.
Yeah, anytime you spin like that, the official's going to call you for traveling. There's just no way to avoid that. But again, Penn had a chance to lengthen the lead, stays at 9.
Here's Tyshawn Grundy working on Joey Garwood. Northern. Grundy. And Northern pulls over Joey Garwood and gets called for his 3rd foul. You'll get another look on the R&B Car Company replay, and it may not be that Garwood is set necessarily as the football move right there. He just lowered the shoulder right into it.
Yeah, anytime you do that, you're sending a telegram to the official.
Might have been watching Michigan and Purdue last night.
Number of first downs in that game.
Here's Joe Smith working the crossover. Gatete into the lane, but Wild on the shot. Smith open for 3. Rattled it home. Joe Smith with his 3rd three-pointer of the game, 41st of the year, and Washington wants timeout. Penn has extended the lead to 43-31 on the Joe Smith trifecta here on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by St. Andrews Products, providing quality apparel to the PGA and the 46 sports since 1989.
Wouldn't it be great to work for a company where their employees are their most valuable asset? Well, now's your chance because RushCore is hiring. They have production positions available in a team-driven environment with excellent benefits that include medical, dental, and a 401k. To learn more about joining the RushCore family and getting the $1,000 sign-on bonus, visit rushcore.com. That's RESCHCOR.com.
A reminder, Saturday afternoon, girls regional action, doubleheader for you on 46. Plymouth and Lake Central, we'll show it to you at 3, live stream it at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then at 5, Christy Ulrich's Penn Lady Kingsmen take on Crown Point. Your home for high school basketball is TV 46. Full day of action, full weekend of action for our 46 crew. Terrence Reed from the baseline connects. The junior guard has 7. Penn comes the other way with Marcus Burton losing it. Joanna Agnew goes to the ground, and on the alternating possession, it goes to Washington.
Now, Al Rhodes' ball club had 10 turnovers in the first half. They have 12 now, and that's a little much. But again, check the pace the Penn is trying to play, and they need to stay that way. It's been very effective offensively.
On credit Washington's defense as well. They have made it perhaps at times a little more frenetic or chaotic than Penn would care to have it. Meanwhile, Marcus Northern, with that sweet little jumper of his, has 17 now, and it's back to an 8-point game.
Penn's done such a good job of making Washington play in a half-court offense. They haven't been able to get out and run very much.
Burton found Barker underneath, but Reed blocked the shot and knocked it out of bounds. Terrence Reed at 5'10", blocking the 6'6" Blake Barker shot. Gatete off the inbound, couldn't hit, but Burton there for the rebound, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws, sponsored by Klein Custom Homes.
Another big offensive rebound for the Kingsmen.
Jawan Agnew called for the foul. You'll get another look here at the action from R&B Car Company. And Agnew crashing into Burton there and swinging the arm wildly. Burton had 12 points in the first quarter. He's only had 2, make it 3 since then. And they've all come up the foul line.
Washington sure does not want to get into a free throw shooting contest with Penn.
Even though he's only 6 feet tall, about 2/3 of Marcus Burton's points come in the paint.
So quick.
Really, his game is slashing, driving, penetrating. Here's Terrence Reed doing that. But when he dropped it off, the ball mishandled, and Washington has to reset down by 10. Reed, Tyler Davis. Step back 3, short. Terrence Reed's rebound rejected by Gatete. Agnew blocked by Barker, foul called on Barker, and Agnew will go to the line for 2. Wow. We'll get another look from R&B Car Company. Free throws coming up, sponsored by the South Bend Community School Corporation.
A couple of good offensive boards in there for Washington in that series.
Jawan Agnew, 65% free throw shooter. Hits the first. He's had to deal with some adversity this year. His sister died in January. But he has been a very steady influence on this Washington team. Rattles that one home as well. 4 points for Jawan. It's an 8-point ball game again. Smith double teamed. Reed knocked it off Smith's head and out of bounds.
Turnover number 13 for the Kingsmen.
And again, this has been a bit of an Achilles heel for Penn this year when they face pressure, and Al Rhodes wants to talk about it with a timeout sponsored by the Penn Booster Club.
Folks, Patty Shack is the original hand-dipped ice cream shop in Granger, featuring super premium ice cream from Chocolate Shop Ice Cream in Wisconsin. Cups and cones, milkshakes and malts, sundaes and floats, even banana splits. Check out Patty Shack in Granger.
Monterey Mexican Grill reminds you of what the field looks like in the Class 3A sectional that Washington will be in. And look at that loaded field. Glenn, Marion, Washington, don't count Eric Gaff and St. Joe out. They were within 1 of Marion at halftime tonight over at Alumni Gym. And Jimtown can scare some teams as well, even though they've got a losing record. So that should be a very interesting sectional. By the way, it's at Marion. That could make a difference as well.
Make a big difference. And, you know, you think about a lot of talk every year about tournaments should be seeded. How would you seed that thing? Everybody's good.
8-point lead for the Penn Kingsmen, but Washington trying to get back in at midway through the third quarter. 2-3 zone by Penn, bedeviling Washington, but Terrence Reed found the seam. He scores the bucket out of the timeout. It's back to a 6-point game.
Big possession there for Washington.
Barker throws it away. Grundy comes the other way for Washington, and it's blocked, but a foul called on Josh Gatete. You'll get another look on R&B Car Company, and you make the call at home. Gatete thought he got all ball. He might have got some arm. It's tough to tell.
I think he did get some arm, but that's what Washington wants to do, what you saw right there. turnover, get down the floor, put the pressure on.
And Grundy, who's only a 25% free throw shooter, hits the free throw sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools. Tyshawn with 3 points tonight. Team leader in assists this year. Couldn't get that one to go. The rebound to Joe Smith. Burton. Crossover, shoots, hits. Marcus Burton with 18 tonight. He averages 27 a game. Penn will extend that 2-3 zone. Good one tonight here at the Forum. The three-pointer by Tyler Davis, an air ball, saved by Agnew, out of bounds off Penn. And the Washington fans starting to get in this one. Penn will go to the bench. Durda and Miller come back in to try to give a breather to Garwood and Barker. Davis to trigger the inbound. Reed comes into the paint with the left hand. It won't go. But the rebound tipped back outside to Davis. Let's see if Washington can generate something out of its half-court offense. Reed, great head and shoulder fake, and a foul called on Trey Miller. Opportunities will be there for Washington. Free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools if they can hit their free throws.
Folks, make your morning shine with a visit to Monterey Mexican in Mishawaka. Discover authentic Mexican breakfast dishes made daily just like the rest of the menu and served right alongside classic American dishes. Make Monterey Mexican your destination.
Terrence Reed is only a 39% free throw shooter on the year. 5'10" junior, helped deliver toys and bears to kids at Beacon Hospital during the winter. Part of the Panther way that Ryan Varga tries to instill in his team. Both free throws missed though, and Burton the rebound. Burton though loses the ball, and here comes Washington the other way. Another chance for the Panthers to get it within 5 or maybe even 4. Davis for 3, ring it up. 10 for Tyler, his 11th game in double figures. Back to a 4-point margin. Penn just bedeviled right now by the pressure from Washington. Miller tried to lob it to Durda, knocked out of bounds by Washington. It'll be Penn ball. Take another look at the rise and fire by Tyler Davis here. And a timeout is taken by Penn. It's sponsored by the Penn Booster Club. We'll keep it here.
St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. We're proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission and providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com, where your expectations become our standards.
Big weekend of Big Ten basketball on Pulse FM 103.1 tomorrow afternoon. Indiana has to go to the Breslin Center to take on Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Can Mike Woodson's team get a big road win? And then on Sunday, Purdue looking to bounce back after that horrific performance against Michigan last night, but they'll be at Wacky Mackey to take on Maryland. 1 o'clock for the tip Sunday afternoon. You're home for Big Ten basketball all season long. Is Pulse FM 103.1.
Penn with just 8 shots so far in the third quarter. Washington with 10. And the Panthers have hit on 5 out of those 10. Meanwhile, Penn just 3 out of 8 here in the third quarter.
4-point Penn lead. Later stages here of period number 3. Durda now to Marcus Burton. Joe Smith in the corner. Good closeout that time by Washington on defense. Durda throws it away. And Bo Hunt, let me come to you for a Bills Heating sideline report. Does it surprise you with Penn's guards that they're having so much problem with this pressure?
I think it does. It's very surprising. I mean, they're probably one of the best backcourts in northern Indiana, and it's just the pressure seems to be getting to them a little bit, and the turnovers are just stacking up for this Penn Kingsman team. I think the biggest thing is with this Washington Panther team is they're just being very aggressive, and they're trying to get up in your face. They're putting the pressure on you, and that's what's causing a lot of these turnovers. And it's going to be a very, very exciting end of this game.
Davis missed the three. Miller a big rebound. But Penn throws it off the back of Gatete. Somehow it carried right to Burton, but he loses it. And Burton stands and shrugs his shoulders as Northern goes for two. Down to a 2-point game.
17 turnovers for Penn in this ballgame.
Let's see if the Kingsmen can hold for one. Gatete down the baseline, blocked from behind. Washington with a chance to tie or take the lead, and a foul called on Marcus Burton. Terrence Reed tried to sell it as a shooting foul. That will not happen. Take another look from R&B Car Company. And there's the collision, and then Reed, maybe in the NBA you get that continuation, not at this level. 2.3 seconds left, third quarter. The trigger and right off the hands of Tyler Davis. But the officials need to talk it over, and it's Penn ball.
Well, I think one of the officials thought it went off of Joe Smith, but went off of Washington. But it took another half second off the clock.
Burton will unload from three-quarter court. Just a little too strong. And the third quarter comes to an end, and the emotions are starting to play big here at the Great Western Forum. Can Washington finally get over the hump and get that big win, or will the Kingsmen show that they belong atop the NIC? 2-point Penn lead as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Hardly the case for this game tonight, Bo Hunt, with the Bills Heating sideline report. So we talked adjustments at halftime. Now maybe it's Penn's turn to make an adjustment. How do they handle this pressure from Washington?
Well, I think the biggest thing with Penn is they need some other guys to step up, whether it's Garwood or whoever it is, Miller, other guys that need to step up, control the basketball. They're just putting all the pressure on that back court. They need some other guys to really step up, take control a little bit of this game, and really get some more buckets underneath. And I think that's one of the biggest things Penn's need to adjust to, guys.
Bob, you're crunching the numbers. Do you see anything?
Well, 6 out of 12 in the third quarter for Washington. They're 18 of 40 now for the ball game. Pretty respectable. Penn was 4 out of 10. They're now 17 of 32. Still above 50%, but climbing back closer to each other.
Well, I'm just not getting as many shots off because of the number of turnovers that they're making as well. Nearly had one there.
17 turnovers for Penn in this ballgame.
Smith from the foul line. Can't connect. Agnew the rebound. Again, Washington with a chance to tie or take the lead. Grundy decides to drive. Reed, he's been hot. Not that time. Agnew kept the rebound alive. Reed slices in. And one. You can feel it at home, can't you? How the momentum in this one has shifted. How the Panthers just keep playing with some relentlessness. Wojciechowski with his fourth foul. And Reed goes to the line for a free throw sponsored by South Bend Community Schools. And Washington is in front. They trailed by as many as 12 in the third quarter. But this is a Penn team that has been through the wars this year. Joe Smith will go to the foul line after he is fouled by Juwan Agnew, and that's the 4th on Agnew.
Folks, Klein Custom Homes is Michiana's premier home builder. Come visit one of our exclusive neighborhoods or let Klein Custom Homes build on your property anywhere in Michiana. For more information, visit us at kleincustomhomes.com. That's K-L-I-N-E, customhomes.com.
And I'll say it now that he hit the first. Joe Smith is an 87% free throw shooter. This is a Penn team that shoots 77% from the line as a team. And Smith puts the Kingsmen in a tie as he misses the second. Tyshawn Grundy looks over at the bench and gets the play call from Ryan Varga. Grundy backs his way in and travels.
Yeah, just a little bit off balance.
Cole Wojciechowski does not rack up a lot of stats, and that doesn't go in any box score, but that's a forced turnover by Wojciechowski just with his presence in the lane.
It's a big fella, and he moves pretty good inside.
Cross-court pass to Joey Garwood. Now the ball in the hands of Burton. Garwood for 3. That's off mark, but Smith with the offensive rebound. Garwood try again. That's off mark. And this time the rebound goes to Washington.
Al Rhodes looking for a bit of a hot hand. He got a good offensive rebound in there. But
Al encouraging his team. Those were both good looks from Garwood, who's a 43% three-point shooter for the year.
And he's averaging 11 points a game. He's got 2 so far tonight.
Meanwhile, the shift by Davis, but blocked by Gatete. He's had a number of block shots tonight, and Burton couldn't hit the layup. Gatete fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line for free throw, sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Another look from R&B Car Company.
Marcus couldn't believe that ball didn't go down. Gatete,
and
very athletic.
Is on Juwan Agnew, and that's his 5th. He's done for the night. Johnny Watson will come in, and here's Gatete, the 80% free throw shooter. You can see Agnew upset as he comes to the bench.
Agnew averages 10 points a game. He's got 4.
But here's Penn uncharacteristically missing free throws here in the 4th quarter. No problem in the lane. The officials get it sorted out. And Gatete rattles that one home. So Penn back up by 1. Northern, and blocking foul called on Joe Smith.
A lot of contact, but that's what we've seen all night. That time Smith called for moving.
Northern will take free throws, sponsored by the South Bend Community School Corporation. Marcus, a 3-year varsity player, taking some honors and AP courses here. Ranked 16th in his class here at Washington High School as Ryan Varga looks on. Ryan, the nephew of the former state championship coach Tom Debates. Ryan played at Clay. As Northern knocks them both down, he's got 21 tonight. And Washington back on top by 1. Joe Smith from the logo. And a whistle and a foul down low as Wojciechowski and Johnny Watson were battling for position, and the foul will be called on Watson. That's the 2nd on Johnny, but only the 5th on Washington, so Penn will inbound.
What a ball game. What a chess match we've got here.
Burton thinks about the shot, takes it, but he was way out of rhythm. And here comes Tyler Davis the other way. Around Burton for 2. Washington with its biggest lead at 3. Garwood The floater is no good. Here comes Davis the other way. Stolen away by Smith and knocked out of bounds by Washington. Penn will get it back.
A lot of one and dones going on right now for Penn, as Washington continues to close that rebounding gap. 21-15 now.
Penn had that hot first quarter, and since then they haven't scored as many points as they did in the first quarter. And another turnover. Here comes Washington the other way. Reed has 14 tonight. He's coming off a career-high 21 against Adams, and listen to the crowd at the Forum. 54-49, Washington with a 5-point lead on the state's 10th-ranked team here on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by TCU, empowering members for 90 years. They're federally insured by the NCUA. Chuck Reavy, Bob Nickel, Bo Humpback with you from the Great Western Forum. Start to see some heavy legs on this Penn team right now, even though Al Rhodes was substituting early.
He rotated his lineup quite a bit early on, but that first quarter, Chuck, they came on, they just exploded. They played with confidence. They shot the ball extremely well. And since that time, they've still had a good approach. They've still had good opportunities, just not hitting the shots. And Washington has found maybe a mismatch or two. I don't know, Bo Hunt, you're watching the action down there. It looks like maybe Reed has found maybe an opportunity for him to handle the defense.
Yeah, I think it's great. For one of the biggest things with Reed is being able to go inside. That last time down there, what was very interesting is Wojciechowski kind of backed away because he did not want to pick up his 5th foul. And Chuck brought up a point earlier, his big presence inside can alter shots, but when you're not trying to pick up your 5th foul and backing away and giving that easy bucket, I don't know how good it is in there, guys.
Meanwhile, Penn has been ice cold here in the fourth quarter. They've had good looks. They just haven't been able to get them to drop. They'll go down low to Wojciechowski here. That opens up Smith for 3, and he connects. That inside-out game really helps, and Joe Smith's 4th 3 of the night gives him 15 points and makes it a 2-point game. Meanwhile, Garwood got a little too close to Tyler Davis and picks up his 2nd foul, and it'll send the 69% free throw shooter Davis to the line for free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community School Corporation. Ryan Varga, former assistant to Chad Johnston, played for Joe Huppenthal, who we'll see tomorrow with Lake Central. And Davis at the line connects. He's got 13, just 1 above his average. Coming off a career-high 27 on Tuesday night in the win over Riley, when Washington took not only the city championship, but the George McCullough Cup. Second one rattles out. Rebound loose to Penn. Washington really extending that 1-3-1 zone. Garwood couldn't shoot over it. Wojciechowski, though, will go to the line. 59% free throw shooter, taking free throws sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. You get another look at the contact, courtesy of R&B Car Company.
Big rebound there for Wojciechowski. Couldn't get it to go home on the putback, but he'll go to the line.
Terrence Reed called for his 2nd foul. Wojciechowski, big fan of the NBA's Nikola Jokic. And that one had more iron than your morning vitamin, but it went down.
Nothing but net when it finally fell in.
Wojciechowski coming back from COVID in the last month. Misses the 2nd, and it's a 2-point Washington lead with 3:50 and counting to go in the game. Here's Marcus Northern, Tyler Davis. Washington running a little 3-man weave. Now Tyshawn Grundy Needs some help, and it's poked away from everybody by Gatete and out of bounds.
Royal Excursion is a proud supporter of high school athletics. For a wedding or school event, team or corporate travel, family or social event, Royal Excursion lets you enjoy the ride. For day trips or cross-country travel, arrive in style with Royal Excursion.
Burton deflecting that pass out of bounds. Davis will inbound right in front of the Washington student body. Watson and Wojciechowski being warned by the officials. Inbound pass stolen by Burton. Penn with a chance to tie. Burton all the way for 2. 20 for Marcus. Tied at 55. Reed double team. And a foul called on Marcus Burton.
Folks, Kona Ice congratulates the Kingsmen on a great season. Keep up the great work, fellas. From Kona Ice, we're mobile, we're fun, we're delicious. Dates fill up fast, so visit Kona-ice.com today to reserve for your party.
Change that foul to Joey Garwood, his 3rd. It's Terrence Reed back at the line. Reminder, 39% foul shooter. Free throw sponsored by South Bend Community Schools. Reed hits that one. He only averages 10 a game, but he has 15 tonight.
Had some confidence in that win over Riley.
And he hits the second. Panthers by 2. Burton with the ball. Burton working his way through the 1-3-1 zone. Washington wanted to travel, but instead a foul is called on the Panthers. It'll go against Tyshawn Grundy, his 3rd. And Burton, an 81% free throw shooter, goes back to the line for free throw sponsored by Klein Custom Homes.
Chuck, I mentioned earlier in the ball game that Washington did not want to get in a free throw shooting contest with Penn. Penn's 2 out of 4 in the 4th quarter. Washington is 6 out of 7.
But Burton is the guy they want shooting. 81% on the year. 21 points tonight. Make it 22, and we're knotted again at 57. 3 minutes left in regulation. A dandy here on 46 tonight. Johnny Watson had the pass knocked away and stolen. Here's Burton for the Kingsman lead. And now the Penn fans erupt for the bucket and the bump. A little bit of a loss of poise there, perhaps by Washington, as Davis got too far under Burton and was called for the foul. Free throw sponsored by Klein Custom Homes is missed, and the rebound to Watson. But now Washington has to play from behind. Northern crashes in. The ball drops, but the foul called well before the shot. Called a foul, I believe, on Burton. That's his 4th.
They're starting to add up, aren't they?
And you get another look from R&B Car Company. Boy, that looked like the foul should have been on Joe Smith instead. Northern, best foul shooter on the Panthers, takes free throws sponsored by the South Bend Community Schools. Northern with 22 tonight. His career high is 24. And indeed, this one has turned into a free throw shooting contest. And Washington holding its own.
8 out of 9 here in the 4th quarter.
That's how you win championships. Penn works the ball around. Garwood. Joe Smith. Who will step up for the Kingsmen? Garwood They'll let him shoot the three, and it's short. Wojciechowski with the tip in. Big fella's got 7 tonight, and Penn has the lead. Northern into the paint. Couldn't get it to go. Wojo with the rebound. Burton trying to draw contact, and Reed obliges. Third foul on Terrence, but take another look at the big rebound bucket by the big man for Penn, Cole Wojciechowski. He's just bigger than anybody on the floor right now for Washington. They cannot keep him away.
He doesn't get up a whole lot off the floor, but he doesn't have to at 6'9". Really hustling out there. You know, he's got 4 fouls. Been up and down the floor all night, hanging in there.
Al Rhodes has Wojciechowski on a special conditioning program to help him out. And Marcus Burton looking for point number 26 of the night. Got it. Now it's a 2-possession game. And unfortunately for Washington, they're staring down the barrel of what's happened so many times before. Close, but not able to get the wins in games like this. Northern working on Joe Smith. Tied up by Garwood. Northern got it back, couldn't put it in, and Johnny Watson will be going to the line after being fouled by Gatete.
Boy, Northern just giving everything he's got to try to get that ball in the basket.
Get another look from R&B Car Company at the battle here, and Watson had inside position. Johnny, an 83% free throw shooter. Free throws sponsored by South Bend Community Schools. The first one will not go. And Wojciechowski comes back in. The transfer from Clay, trying to get his first point of the night. 6'4" junior. That one wouldn't go either, and Gatete a big rebound. And now Penn will take its time up by 4, and Washington has to find a way to force the issue. Wojciechowski. Now Burt. And a foul called underneath on the outside will put Burton back on the stripe.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFG, we're like the teams in this game. We're working toward a great finish.
Reminder, more basketball for you on Saturday. In fact, we have a doubleheader for you from the LaPorte 4A Regional, the first game of the day, live streamed at 11, shown on 46 at 3. Michaela Shalio's Plymouth Pilgrims take on Joe Huppenthal and the Lake Central Indians in the first semifinal. Second final, live stream at 1, shown on 46 at 5. Both the live streams on the IHSA Champions Network. Christy Ulrich and the Penn Lady Kingsmen, who survived against Elkhart Tuesday night, now trying to avenge a loss to defending state champ Crown Point. You'll see them both tomorrow afternoon on your home for high school basketball, TV 46. And Marion gets the win they needed on the road tonight as they hold off St. Joe 69-62 at Alumni Gym. So now Penn needing this win to keep the Knights at bay in the NIC race.
Penn with so much on the line tonight, a top 10 state ranking, obviously, and share that NIC lead. And they have responded to a big challenge from Washington.
And Marcus Burton misses from the foul line. Burton averages 27 points per game. He has 26 tonight and missed the second as well. Washington still in it with under a minute left. Northern decides to drive on Barker and hit. A career high 25 for Marcus Northern. as Blake Barker thought he was going straight up, but he undercut him with the body.
Man, is he quick. Just a junior. A lot of the talent on this floor tonight. We're going to get a chance to see another year next year, and that's exciting news for Northern Indiana.
Big free throw here, because then if you send Penn to the line, a three would tie it, but instead the rebound out of bounds off Gatete, and Washington will have a chance to tie or take the lead here.
Wow. We have really been blessed with some great games this year. We've got another one here tonight.
Man, this fourth quarter, it's like it was constructed by a fair worker.
Blake Barker back in for Penn.
The inbound to Terrence Reed. He's guarded by Marcus Burton. And a timeout called by Ryan Varga, who didn't like the way that play was developing, with 40.4 seconds left.
So much on the line here for both teams tonight.
And of course, Washington with so many weapons. This is one of the few teams in the area, in fact, the only team in the area that has 4 players averaging in double figures this season. Now, the problem is one of those is fouled out, Juwan Agnew.
Right.
But Reed, Northern, and Davis, you've got 3 very viable options. And Bo Hunt, I'm asking you, which way do you think Ryan Varga would go right here?
Well, I think the biggest thing is he wants to get the hand in Northern, get the ball into Northern's hand and see if he can maybe dribble drive, what he can do to penetrate, and then maybe kick off. But I think that's the biggest thing, is get it in Northern's hand and let things happen. I mean, he's got 25 points, his career high already. Let the game in his hands.
And not only that, he's their best free throw shooter on the year. Bob, your thoughts?
9 out of 15 from the field for Marcus Northern. From the free throw line, he has also made 5 out of 6. 3 has not been his big shot tonight. He's taken 2 and made 1. But when he slices in the lane, he's got some people that got to be concerned, you know, especially Wojciechowski with 4 fouls. We haven't heard much from, you know, the early start with Joe Smith, and Marcus Burton's continued his great play, but we haven't heard much from Joe Smith here in the second half.
But you saw Al Rhodes there on the sideline. This is the 974th game of his career. So nothing that happens tonight is likely going to be anything he hasn't experienced before. Marcus Northern on the drive, as Bo predicted. Northern forces it up and got it to go. Tied at 63. Burton the other way. Scores. He's got 28. Penn by 2. Northern. Reed misses, and Barker is fouled on the rebound by Reed. But Blake Barker is only a 37% free throw shooter. The free throw sponsored by Klein Custom Homes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was by design. I don't think they had time to think about it. They just had to foul. Look at Burton. Wow.
And it was well defended by Tyshawn Grundy. Blake Barker looking over at the Penn bench, and Ryan Varga will give him a chance to think about it a little bit more with 12.8 seconds left.
That was a good timeout. We've seen 2 really terrific coaches here tonight. Ryan Varga's done an outstanding job. And as you said, Al Rhodes has had so many of these situations that he will come up with an idea. And right now the idea is to get Gatete to be successful at the free throw line.
Well, Barker's going to the line. Here's the thing, though, as I look at both of these teams, and the postseason is only 3 weeks away, Penn will be the favorite at Northside Gym, which is exactly the position you don't want to be in the Elkhart sectional, because how many times have we seen the favorite not win the Elkhart sectional? And there are weaknesses that we've seen tonight with them being able to handle pressure.
Nothing like playing in the big barn on Bristol Street.
Washington, of course, is going to be the underdog in that sectional with Glenn and Marion, but this is a dangerous team.
Very dangerous team. And you think about what they've done and how close they are without Juwan Agnew in the lineup. Fouled out with 6:05 to go.
Barker shooting 2. The first is pure. The 6'6" senior with his 3rd point of the night. This one would be massive because it'd make it a 2-possession game. Here comes Washington the other way. It's Watson misfiring. Burton races away. Northern had to foul him. And with 5.3 seconds left, the Penn Kingsmen can almost taste an NIC title.
Oh, my. Watson had a good look, but Watson has not scored in the ball game tonight. Struggled a bit. 0 for 2 from the field.
Free throw sponsored by Klein Custom Homes. Marcus Burton gets the first. He has had 7 games so far this year with 30 points or more, including 37 against Adams on Tuesday night. He looks for his 30th point here and gets it. And the Penn Kingsmen will walk out of the Great Western Forum with a 69-63 win over the Washington Panthers. They had to blow the whistle because a traveling call on Tyler Davis. And so they're getting both teams back out on the floor, but this is merely to run the final half-second off the clock.
Penn did a great job on the boards tonight. They also turned the ball over quite a bit. Washington didn't turn it over that much, but they couldn't get on the boards against a big inside play at Penn.
Penn is now 16-2 on the season, 9-1 in the NIC after they come into the Great Western Forum and defeat Washington tonight 69-63. We're back with our post-game show and our player of the game. It all comes your way next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
the Great Western Forum emptying out, but the fans that were here got their money's worth tonight. 69-63. The 10th-ranked Penn Kingsmen hold serve in the NIC with a huge road win in the conference. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. A frenetic first quarter, and it just built up to the tension-led fourth.
No question about it, Chuck. You know, we highlighted 2 players before the game, Marcus Burton from Penn, and we talked about Marcus Northern from Washington, and they both lived up to what we expected. They both played well. They led their teams. They did a lot of great things. The role players played a big part. Wojciechowski in the second half, you know, Al Rhodes said at halftime, got to quit fumbling the ball. And he quit fumbling, and he made some big plays and big rebound, big basket. But this was a game where some of the guys on the sidelines that you don't normally think are going to be your leading scorer needed to play well. Penn had some of those. And Washington, unfortunately, when Agnew went out with 6:05 to go, that had a big effect on this game. But nothing had an effect on the leading scorer for the Penn Kingsmen.
No, Marcus Northern had a career high tonight for Washington, but there was another guy who was on the Marcus tonight. He's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Marcus Burton, 30 points tonight. First half and second halves were very different. Talk about that first half and how you guys were able to get that quick start.
It was a very great game. Washington played great defense on me. They held me to not a lot of points, and I credit them for that. They're a very great team, and I respect them for that. Second half, we kind of find our rhythm. We started making shots, started finding our teammates. I started making better reads, and we got the dub.
How well did this game prepare you guys for your sectional coming up in a few weeks, but just the trenches that you guys have been through, and this game in particular, how does this prepare you guys moving forward?
It just prepares us a lot. Just being patient. When teams box on me, I have to be patient. My team do great stuff, get good reads and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just preparing us for sectionals and stuff like that.
Another tough contest here in the NIC conference. You guys still hold that first place spot. Just talk about that conference and how tough this conference is.
We had to fight for Marion and Glenn and Washington. Obviously, we got it done, but we didn't get it done against Marion because they was a very great team. We got it done against the other 2 teams, and He's been having a great season. We're going to keep it rolling.
Getting down the stretch, there are a lot of pressure on you guys. Once they took the lead, you were able to come up with the game-winning shot. Just talk about that last fourth quarter.
I just knew I had to get a shot off. I didn't want to rush it, but I mean, it was not a lot of minutes, a lot of seconds on the clock, and I knew I had to score the ball.
Hey, thanks a lot. Best luck.
Thank you. You too.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Bo and Marcus, for the Penn Kingsmen. They have a busy week next week. Plymouth on Tuesday night, Elkhart in the conference finale on Friday night. Washington, though, is going to get more opportunities against really good teams. St. Joe comes here next Friday night, and then top-ranked Northwood comes to the Great Western Forum on Saturday night, the 19th. That could be a fun one.
Well, you know, you always talk about that mental approach, like we're the underdog. This is not a team that needs to worry about being an underdog. They're a very talented team, and they did some great things tonight. And I tell you what, it's going to be great. Folks, if you haven't been out to see a high school basketball game, please give yourself a gift and go out and see these young men are really working hard. We had a class performance from both schools tonight. Two outstanding coaches, and we just had a lot of fun.
And guess what? We get 2 games for the price of 1 tomorrow, so we need to wrap it up. Turn out the lights. The party's over. But Penn and Washington put on a show, and it was brought to you by our terrific crew. Dean Korsmo doing yeoman work tonight. Good to see Tommy Ward back in the truck as well, and our usual cast of talented men and women who bring you high school basketball each and every week. A reminder, tomorrow on TV 46, high school girls basketball. Plymouth and Lake Central play at 3 o'clock. Penn and Crown Point play at 5 o'clock. We'll live stream both games through the IHSA Champions Network at 11 and 1 Eastern Time. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Now for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. The final, Penn 69, Washington 63. So long from the west side of South Bend.